My reward. Hello, I just got home from trying a new psychologist. This might be like TMI, but I feel like you gotta talk about it like it's just normal because of how stigma-free I think I am in my head about mental health, yet that this experience happens. It went fine and good, I think. I'm gonna go back, try him again, and this, I want to acknowledge the huge amount of privilege that comes with trying to find a new psychologist. Like, the cost is like deafening, especially because I've run out of Medicare rebated sessions, and then the government have also just announced that they're scrapping them from next year, the number of sessions from 20 to 10, which is like, anyway, that's the whole thing. Anyway, this was good. It was in a trendy inner suburb, which I have been trying because I think it'll be more me. At the same time, maybe I've mentioned before, long-time viewers will know that inner suburbs make me feel really small and uncool. I also just get like very scared because like most feelings of being unsafe have happened in a city or city for me. So she was on high alert. Yeah, but this one was a man. But I was super brave and got, I think, all my hard truths out there. It's very hard. I find the beginning sessions so hard because talking for me is so stressful. Not talking, but just like articulating myself truthfully. Weird shit comes out when I have to talk live. I treated myself after. I saw there was like a card shop over the road. I thought, ooh, they might have a new kind of writing pad thing, because I've just run out of one I got off Etsy that was like vintage. I think it was like Holly Hobby, that character. I don't know if that's a British or Australian thing. Anyway, she's gorge, and I lucked out and got like for $7 a vintage writing pad that had like 60 pages left on it. Divine. Anyway, I got this one, and I don't want a to-do list. I want a bit more room. So writing pad works out great because I like to write the day and the weather and the date and stuff, and like it's like a daily ritual or anal compulsion. You be the judge. Anyway, it has lots of Australian native flowers around the side. Super me, very happy, nice paper feel. Anyway, I'm trying another psychologist I've already had one session with. I'm just trying two, neither of which I don't think are like the one, but I'm just trying to feel a little lighter and chill about the process and just accept a change, because that's allowed, and my feelings about the previous one are valid even if I feel like I'm not allowed or they're not warranted. But all this health caring, it's all I think about. Like when I'm in therapy, I'm like 200% in. I just think about it all the time, and I don't really feel like I'm living live. Anyway, I need to actually do some work to get back to people with quotes and stuff for catering. The Savo. I went to the post office to send some cookbooks. And I always get the shittest stamps when I buy stamps, like happy birthday ones, when it's like I'm not sending 10 birthday cards by mail. Or I get like military ones. Anyway, today I got roses. Thank you, this is the type of thing I want. Some plants. Plants are animals, always. Safe option. Gorge. If you're watching, Gwenny, my pen pal, skip to this number. I'm just having a morning editing. I'm a bit like chronological, and it was bumming me out that there was just so much to catch you up on, but I feel like I've edited the video, which was just so patchworky. It doesn't really have a catch up in it, but it tides me over until like this sort of vlogmasy season where I'm a bit more Anyway, I'm just going to package up this birthday / Christmas present for my pen pal Gwenny, who's in Cardiff. It's a light mailable, although with the Royal Mail situation over there, not sure when it's going to get there. It's just a nice like botanical koala tea towel. We often get each other something a bit indigenous to the place. And it comes in this gorgeous little bag. Hello, how are you doing? It is maybe the next day evening. I'm about to head out to the Friends parody musical show with my friend, about to head off to pick her up. I've scrubbed up better than I thought I would. I had a nap this afternoon. I had a really slow and low day, just a lot of fatigue and some very sad news as well, but I'm very ready for a bit of escapism and hopefully lots of laughs. Yeah, and a bit of like a date night with a bestie, so that's banging. And yeah, love this sort of basic. It's like so versatile and it's like totally unlocked my wardrobe. Anyway, looking forward to a lovely night. Shall try to remember to film.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of...
My friend woke up with a sore throat and has like a very weak positive COVID result, so I just took a test. I feel fine and it was negative, but yeah, I hope she's okay and it doesn't get too bad. I had a bit of a sleep in this morning, took Merlin for a walk. I think my main thing of the day will be going to the commercial kitchen and retrieving all my stuff and bringing it home and packing it up. So many fungal gnats from my plants, but I might just put a few things aside for the op shops, mainly like books, have a bit of a cull and some clothes probably as well. But the parody Friends show last night was super fun. I only heard about it through my dad telling me. It was on like Canberra radio, so I'm pretty sure they've like put out the word to spread the word, and the reviews and recommendations are so right. It's so funny and good, but because they were probably like pushing it to let people know about it and like sell tickets, because it's not like the biggest show happening in Melbourne at the moment or anything, because then you're sort of comparing it to what you'd heard. But it was so good. The guy who played Chandler also played Janice Golden. They took the piss big time. It was kind of like a recap, 95% of it sung, like pointing out the inconsistencies. They couldn't use like a lot of stuff from the show, like scripts or music, because of copyright. So, but it was very of the world of Friends, and the actors like had like the mannerisms of the main characters, like hyped up to 200%. It was really funny, especially the guy who played Ross, like so much sighing and like so much squeaky voice, and yeah, the physicality of all of them was on point. It was a bit naughty as well. It was very fun. I'm just at the kitchen about to go in and get all my stuff and put it in the car, take it home. Saturday evening. Thought it could be nice to talk a bit about the microbakery and how it went, because not a lot of you are local, and I did not vlog it how in Fantasyland I would have, because I just didn't have the energy, didn't have the time, literally didn't have the time, or the number of hands, or the stress levels to cope. So yeah, that became a lower down priority, sadly, because I love documenting stuff and it's like, I've been working towards it for so long, would be nice to show it off. I only just remembered to like take pictures of every single one. But yeah, if you don't know, I started my microbakery, vegan and gluten-free, inclusive, modern takes on nostalgic bakery faves. Australian bakery, but also like European, American, quite home style, nostalgic, dang delicious, comfort foodish, but also poppin' bakery numbers. My first pop-up was October 1st, and until December 10th they were fortnightly, so that made for 6. They were all sort of live, and I take them to a shop in I use the recycled sewing studio in Hampton, which I kindly got to use the space because it's not being used Saturday mornings, and I know the owner and think it's a like delightful space. It was really so generous. Got to have like a high street experience, I guess. And yeah, all of them were there except once when I did like a pre-order mixed box and went north side and people picked them up. And for that one, my friend so kindly allowed me to use like the entry of one of her workplaces, and it was like a great location for pickup. I made things like apple crumble lamingtons, cinnamon buns, coffee scrolls, strawberry tarts, like custard tarts, tiramisus, chocolate mousse, different cakes like strawberry chamomile, chai carrot cake with walnuts and like a cream cheese frosting, chocolate mandarin cookies, like really thin, crispy, large, epic crinkle topped cookies. Then the last one I did my Swedish sandwich cake, and also take home like holiday roasts to have over the festive period. I did some savoury options like silver beet and spinach feta. I used the yay feta triangles, savoury scones. I think that's loosely everything. Oh, vanilla slice was a big one, and like Polish heaven cake, which is like a layered European cake with walnuts and apples, dark chocolate, crumbly almond short crusty layers. I rotated the menu most times as much as I could. The first pop-up, my quantity was a bit of a joke. It was like barely 3 crates worth of stuff, and it felt like so much, and there was this huge incredible line down the street, and that was just the most exhausting 48 hours, but I did not have enough food, and so we sold out in 25 minutes. Something which was significant in how the sort of experience went was like the night before I was to start cooking the first time, which was like a big thing in itself, like doing it for the first time and launching something which you've been advertising a lot, prepping and working towards for ages. That was the night I had to take Merlin, my dog, to emergency because he had swallowed a tennis ball and he had to have it surgically removed. That was very stressful and like touch and go, and I would have loved to be like, have that as like the only stressful thing going on in my life. But so I was running on so little sleep, and it just felt very like something's gonna go wrong for the preceding pop-ups. And things did go wrong all the time. Like I think the second time we had no power, which meant couldn't like press the button to open our garage, and I'd like packed all the ingredients and everything in the car to leave early that morning, and I couldn't find the key to manually open it. So things like that where like you just realize, gosh, this feels so fragile, this whole process, because like especially when you're doing these for the first, second, third times, everything is held together by quite fragile whatevers that you rely on, and many of them determine you being able to move forward and execute the whole pop-up, from sourcing ingredients to shopping to prepping to cooking to selling. My silly little square didn't work for a number of them, which was just gutting because I was loving the selling experience, like loving. But when you have to tell people, would you mind like going to an ATM or doing a bank transfer, it just makes you feel like shit, and like you can't really deliver the customer service that you would love to. I had like a different friend helping me each time, which was incredible and like felt very special. And on the last one, when most friends were away or working, I just didn't have someone who had come to the early pop-ups and was super enthusiastic, offered to help. So it's like within 6 weeks I'd made enough of sort of an indent for them to like volunteer their time to help me along. And I think what is like one of the most gratifying but hardest parts for me, like as an introvert who like is so used to doing everything on their own, and prefers to not have to like rely on other people, like constantly asking and communicating with people who are helping you, whether it was the person who runs the shop that I'm using, or the person I'm renting the kitchen from, asking permission and communicating with them over and over and over. Yeah, it's just not like a muscle that's like used very often. It's not something I'm super practiced at, and I just feel very guilty even though it's like they are genuinely happy to help you with said thing. And it became also really hard to like rest in between, and I mentioned that before just because 2 weeks is nothing when you have a bit of a rest. When you recover from one, fulfill all your other life admin, recipe test, and then plan and execute the next one. And I got really good at like just checking out of my body because I like the day before the pop-up is like so long, so on my feet, and I'm quite a fast cook, so that's on my side, but it was like that times 3 to like execute everything. My perfectionist tendencies, or just like translating my cooking skills and doing it in a commercial kitchen, a lot of stress. I'm just focusing on the negative. That is not the idea. I was having a blast and I'm so proud of what I've achieved, but yeah, I also wish I like could enjoy it more, because when it's the time to enjoy it and you're just really exhausted, like I want to be able to attend a pop-up, you know. Also not like be so stressed every time that my digestion goes really out of whack. So food and my food, and seeing all this food in like so large quantities, like transporting it, preparing it, assembling, selling, it makes anyone like not feel like they want to devour it all. They want something completely different. And clearly in the recovery, little phasey wazy, so still just getting my energy and zhuzh back, but it was such a huge, incredible feat. And if you have more specific questions that I didn't cover, maybe leave them below and I'll answer them in the next one.